Hey, my name is Mike, and this is a too long didn't read guide for Elerethe Renferal on normal and heroic. If you touch any of the eggs on these platforms, ads will spawn. The boss will start off in spider form. She'll link two players together with Web of Pain. This will make it so any damage the one linked player takes will also be transferred to the other player. Being further away from each other makes it so you take more damage, so try to get close together. And ranged, if a melee has this, go to them. The further away you are from this big green circle, the less damage you take. After this happens, spiderlings will spawn. If they're too close to the boss, they will buff her, so make sure to tank them away from her. The spiderlings will put a stacking dot on their target. When they die, they leave a green puddle on the ground. Ideally, you want to kill these on the edge of the room. Necrotic Venom is a debuff that is put on a couple people. When it expires, you'll get a 5-second dot that drops a green pool every second underneath you. Ideally, you want to take this at the edge of the platform and make sure you're not blocking off one of the bridges. She'll eventually transform into a raven and do a raid-wide AoE pushback. In this phase, she'll also put twisting shadows on a couple people. If you have this, you can actually run over the green pools and get rid of them, but you are still taking damage from them, so it may or may not be a good thing to do this. After 2 seconds, you'll spawn a purple tornado, so make sure not to stand in that. Don't stand in front of the boss when she turns to a random person and does Razor Wing. Raking Talons is done on the tanks multiple times in a row. This does a lot of damage and puts a stacking debuff on you that increases the damage you take from this by 100% per stack. Tanks will need to be swapping for this. Throughout the fight, the boss will move between platforms. As she moves, she does a raid-wide AoE until you engage her on the next platform. To get to the next platform, you have to just cross the bridge. However, these bridges usually have a tornado on them, and there's also eggs nearby, so make sure to be very cautious as to where you're standing. In Razor form, when she flies off to another platform, she'll actually spawn these feathers on the ground. When you pick one up, the next jump you do will be really high up into the sky, and then you'll glide down. You'll also get an extra action button that if you press, you'll kind of like heroic leap onto the ground, and this will kill any spiderlings that you happen to leap onto, so try to do that if you can. My guild just popped all of our offensive cooldowns right at the start of the fight. Defensives are good to have during the raid-wide AoE pushback called Gathering Clouds, or when you're going across platforms. You can also pop defensives on the big green circle. That was a too long didn't read guide for Elerethe Renferal. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know down below in the comments. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.